Well, as everybody knows, there was a big shootout or massacre here in New York City. Of course, the libs are calling for gun control, of course, where it's not about gun control. If everybody in that office building that was attacked by that lunatic had a gun, it could be a very different situation. Anyway, killer targets NFL. Okay. Let me tell you about the killer who targeted the NFL. The guy was crazy. He also was Chinese in the black. And initially they tried to blame everything on Whitey, but it wasn't Whitey. No, say he might have been white. That was CNN. CNN. They tried to make it into a situation where maybe a white supremacist there. But obviously the man was a man of color. And color him crazy. Because what it was is he thinks that there was from football, what you call a rare disease, or maybe not so rare disease of continuous head blows to the head will cause mental illness and dementia and a form of schizophrenia. Um, Man wasn't even in the NFL. He was in a high school football team, a very good player at the time, a very positive thinking kind of guy. But he went crazy. But it could be just he's crazy, and then he saw these documentaries about the NFL not taking care of their football players, and he projected it upon himself. Because that's what happened when you're crazy, when you're schizophrenic. This is the truth. So the guy goes in, and he shoots a good cop. I forget his name, but he was a Muslim kid from Bangladesh who volunteered and was working at night because the cops aren't paid enough. And he was there, and then this other guy, this guard, this African American guy, and then he killed the corporate executive, and he wounded a few NFL people because he's going off through the building. Went to the wrong floor, the man, well, and he spared a lady. Luckily, we have emergency show unit that can respond. The unit responded, got the guy. By the way, the commie who's trying to run for mayor wants to disband that unit because that unit fights against the very, because Azumi, whatever the hell his name is, the um, Ugandan by way of Afiki. Um, Yeah, he's Ugandan. Is he Ugandan or is he Pakistani? I don't know. His family is rich. They were exploits, and they settled down in Uganda in order to exploit the people there. Yeah, it's true. They're rich people. They're rich commies. The worst kind is a rich commie. Let me tell you something. Anyway, they settled down there. He's trying this. You know what he's gonna do? You know what this red commie pastor is gonna do? He's gonna disband the police, and when you have a domestic violence situation or murderer coming at you, you can get a social worker there. That way, the wife and social worker are both dead. Oh, I want to de-escalate it. It's like Vietnam. Let me tell you something. Get cops to come in and investigate situation to rescue the wife from the insane husband. Or insane wife. Let's not be sexist. Sometimes the women are not so, it might be their time of month. I look at this. So the guy's in. He's going in. He shoots the place up. Of course, our glorious mask of the mascot, what's her name? Herschel? She wants to cause for nationwide gun control. This is bullshit. We need more arms and the good citizens. You know what the militia used to be? Militia, they everyone's saying it's a well-regulated militia. Militia was vigilantes in every little town. They got muskets. Anybody comes in there, about whether it's an American Indian raiding party or uh, or some lunatic from the woods, they shoot them. That's what they do. That's what we all should. We should have vigilantes everywhere. We could take care of the whole situation very easy. Revisionist toting gun is taken up. Apparently, you could be a lunatic and run around with a rifle and not be charged. This guy comes in there, he's wearing a big rifle. He wants to emulate his hero, the guy who attacked the corporate guys. That's what he was after, the corporate guys. Ever since that, the guy, shot that uh, physical whatever. He's corporate head of where they help the sick people. It's a crazy one. It's a crazy one. Yeah, he looks to connects elite units. That's what the commie wants to do. He wants to destroy the police, disband it, because he's a commie. Except for his particular extension. He'll have plenty of police protection, as most Marxists do. Holy mousy thing, all I gotta say. Oh, talking about, Katy Perry. Katy Perry's going out with Trudeau. In other words, Katie, who used to be a good girl, she used to be Christian. Now she's woke. And apparently she was going out with this guy and had a kid with him. Well, out of marriage, by the way. And yeah, and now she's with Trudeau, who's the son of Fidel Castro. It's obviously he went after those truck drivers who are trying to just, not take the vax, because the whole vax thing was a hoax. So, well, for the average person to take the vaccine, not a good thing. It's not needed. It's for sick people, people who are overweight, people who are sickly, and old. It's not for the average citizen. Canadians, my God, it's a Soviet Republic. I tell you, the Soviet Republic. Trudeau, he wants to make it a one world government. That's right. It's an exercise of power. And he gets it from his father, his true father. And even if that guy wasn't his true father, it's his true father. Let me tell you something. Talk about sons. Hunter Biden would invade El Salvador to free Hunter Biden, a crack addict, piece of crap. Oh my God. Ay, ay, ay. But he might run for office. He's more authentic than most of them. And he's saying his father could have won the election. Really, really, Hunty. You're doing your crack too much. He looked like I say, he was on television. He looked like he was high as a guy. And like the apple doesn't fall far into the tree. Corrupt apple, poison fruit from the tree. And everybody, Biden's been melted, and it wasn't too good in the first place, the plagiarizing piece of crap. He was taking kickbacks. I will give you $1 billion, you kick me back $10 billion. He had a lot of what you call dummy corporations, and the whole Biden family, the whole Biden Karen family was faking up money. Hidden echo tax. Yeah, they were going to tax everything. They were going to ruin our lives. No, we couldn't shower decently. Our toilets wouldn't flush. We had to have electrical ovens instead of the gas, because that was environmentally good for the environment. Screw the environment. The environment can get along by itself. There is no such thing, absolutely no such thing as the greenhouse effect or the climate change. It's a myth. And in order for one world government to take over your lives from ends to return, it's true. But even some of them believe it. Pete blew off the windmill safety darts. Yeah. You know what they did? They just, the ocean, near the ocean, they have these windmills. They killed the eagles all the time. They killed the eagles, they killed the birds, and they mess up the view. You shouldn't have, what you need is you don't need the green. You don't need the do it by clean energy through the sun. Sun, you want to get some sun power, take off your shirt and get a tan. You know what I'm saying? We got the nukes, the nuclear factories. It's a long time since 3 Mile Island. We can have safety with the nukes and the uh, the gas. We got to frack, fracking, fracking, fracking. Drill, baby, drill, and we won't have no problem with inflation. The Russians are threatening us with war, yeah? Let me tell you something. It was an act of God. Russia just had a big earthquake. We were worried about that because the Russians are all crazy. They want to reestablish the Russian Empire, or listen, Putin wants to do it. Putin's a little in the crazy in the head. He's a crazy in the head. But he's fighting the Ukrainians who are fighting a good fight. They're fighting a good fight. The government may be a little corrupt. You know, that little comedian, he may be putting away for the rainy day. You know, I don't know. Because he wanted to cut down this organization that's going to root out Ukrainian corruption. Because it's about $1 billion is missing. You know, Mr. Trump doesn't want to be a Safanova. You want us to protect you. You want some protection from the big Russian bear, from the American eagle. It's not paid for it. American taxpayer doesn't want to do it no more. Teacher, tracker. Oh, what's this? Oh, this teacher, female teacher. You know, if it was a male teacher, there's a sexism going on here. She was doing the hopey dope and forcing herself upon a young man. Well, the young man was, I don't want to do the hopey dope with you already. And was she a good looking? Well, hey, that's another story. No, I want to be like the president of France, where he has his wife who's 88 years old now, and he's still in his 45, doing the hoopy doop with me and slapping me around the plane. So he knew this was a bad thing. So he didn't want to do it. So he reported her, and she's doing community work. Helping too much. Yeah, she's not going to gym. But I did that. I was a teacher and I did that. I'm in a yellow jacket for the rest of my life. Hollow words from police hating mom. You know, this guy, once he gets in there, he's going to disband the police. This whole place has become a hellhole. Yeah, yeah, he's going to disband the place and they're going to be open Susan and Jewish. Uh-oh, I'm doing my thing. I'll be finished pretty soon. All right. Yeah, that's my people. I got people. I got people. Hello, words from police hating women. Store EP store large girls. I don't know what that is. They use large girls, but they have this young woman. She's a very beautiful lady. She said I had good genes. All of a sudden, she's part of the Nazi movement. What the hell? She does have good genes. She hung them out there. She said, they gave me my hair, my blonde hair, and blue eyes. Apparently, saying a blonde haired, blue eyed girl is a pretty girl, and she got it from her genes, which you do, is you in the second, the third right. This is crazy. And we're rewarding Hamas. You know what they're doing? Hamas people are starving their own people. The Israelis are as much as they can trying to not have what you call your collateral damage. The Hamas are going to use them as hostages. Not going to work. Let's say, let me tell you something. The Hamas people, all those people behind the murders of those people a year ago, they're in trouble. Because he's thinking the Israelis are pretty intense about killing, murdering the people like that, especially in such a brutal, monstrous way. Probably one of the most brutal acts that I can recall in my little lifetime. And I've been around 66 years. 66 years, I never saw anything like this in my life. Now you can we go in the history books, the Mongols and the Nazis and the Patatao and the Shining Path have done things like this. But you know, in my life, they weren't overt about it. They put it around closed doors. They tried to hide their mischievous monstrousness. Nah, talking about monstrous. A guy who killed those young people, those 4 people, he was on Tinder talking to a girl, but he alienated her because he has a psycho eyes, and he basically was saying, "Hey, what's the worst way you can kill somebody?" Because they're all nuts. Yeah, watch how you get with the Tinder. Ah, the biggest liar in the whole of Congress, uh, George Soto. He's going to jail, and his face might melt because he has a lot of plastic surgery. They was a trendy transvestite and a cross-dresser and a liar. But I can forgive him everything because I'm a good Christian, but I can't forgive him for cheating a dog that he said he was going to get raise money for, and the veteran whose dog it was. I have a soft spot for the military. Let me tell you something. Hungry for war's end. This whole hoax that the Israelis are starving the people of Gaza is a bull, and that they're genocidal. You know, there are 3 million or more Gazans. If the Israelis are doing genocide, they're doing a shitty part of it. They're not doing it really. Now, what they want to do to the Jews from the river to the sea, Jews around here, you see, that's no good. The Jewish people deserve their own little state. Now, I wouldn't say it's a real estate location. I wouldn't live there if I was them. But I think I'm proud of them, and it's the Holy Land. It was given to them by the God. God, the guy say, hey, you guys, go on there. Yeah, some Trump has said that the Hamas wouldn't go for the peace deal. But, you know, you don't mess with the Don, or you're gonna go wrong. Don's gonna, pretty soon all the hostages, those poor people being held, those poor Israelis and some Americans, are gonna be either dead or freed, and then we could deal with the Hamas people. Hamas people know they're doomed. They're doomed. They're down there. They're doomed. DA secrets. Yeah, the DA of New York City was trying to incriminate and working closely with the Biden crime family in order to get Mr. Trump. Didn't work. It's obviously that Mr. Trump has a Lord on side. Lordy, lordy, lordy. Yeah, the hypocrites of the Democratic Party, where you can run around with little masks, Hamas masks, well, and like Palestinian terrorists, and mask your face, and also run around with COVID masks and Antifa masks, so you don't see their face and what they're up to. But the ice people can't wear masks. The ice people are gods of the angels, and they will destroy these bastards. What they should do is arrest everybody and deport anybody who burns the American flag or demonstrates against the country. They don't belong here. They don't belong here. They don't belong here. That's all I got to say. Let me take this stuff now. Yeah. What am I looking to the eye? I will open my eyes will open. I can see. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yes. All right, let's see what we're going to do.